People who live outside, we all got an idea of Lebanon that it's a dangerous country, and in general we don't get to know a lot about it. After my visit, I considered that maybe this is a country where I could actually potentially live in the future because you feel comfortable here. I understood how powerful the social media is and how people rely on that, and they rely on you.
Hi everyone, this is Enmaeya Studio. We're joined today by Anastasia, who you may also know as Guide.lb. She is the founder of one of Lebanon's most popular tourism platforms, and today we'll talk more about her journey, especially during Lebanon's hardest times, as well as the role of digital storytelling in shaping Lebanon's recovery. Hi Anastasia.
Hi.
كيفك?
منيحة.
Good. I know you learned a little bit of Arabic since
Yes.
you've come. Okay, but we'll keep the interview in English. So the first question I'd like to start with, which I think a lot of people would like to know, is what made you come to Lebanon in the first place?
So I visited Lebanon for the first time in 2018. And to be honest, before that, I didn't know much about the country at all. But people who live outside, we all got an idea of Lebanon that it's a dangerous country. And in general, we don't get to know a lot about it. We came for a summer vacation. And when I saw Lebanon 2018, completely you get a totally different picture in reality when you visit the country. And it's everything you didn't expect, and what they definitely don't show on the news. So I was pleasantly surprised.
So you came 2018. So
Yes.
before everything transpired, before the crisis, the port explosion, the wars, everything. So when you first came here, what would you say was like the impression that Lebanon left on you?
I've realized that Lebanon is actually a well-developed country. The people here were very, very, and still are, hospitable. Everyone speaks English. There is a nightlife going on that you don't expect. People are open-minded, and this makes you feel very comfortable as a tourist. You feel safe here. You feel like there is a lot of things you can do, places to explore. So you feel directly very welcomed in this country, and this is was one of the reasons that after my visit I considered that maybe this is a country where I could actually potentially live in the future because you feel comfortable here. Even though you get maybe an idea that it's a bit unsafe, but yet it is still comfortable.
And moving on to Guide.lb, which many of us love and follow, could you tell us more about how it happened? Was it planned? Did it happen just naturally? So what is the story behind it?
When I moved to Lebanon in 2019, I started exploring the country because for me it was something new, something interesting. So I was exploring a lot. I was driving around. It was interesting for me, and I was documenting it, but more as a hobby. I started an Instagram page where I was sharing my experiences as a tourist in Lebanon, and it was just for fun. Honestly, I never ever expected that this gonna grow into something big and serious. But I also was sharing reviews on the restaurants, and this is something I did do before moving to Lebanon. I used to live in Berlin, and I did have a similar page there. So already I knew how to, let's say, write the reviews and take pictures for the restaurants. So this also I added to my page, and my reviews were very honest and very detailed, and this was something new. I didn't see anyone doing this on Instagram back then in English. So I think people liked the idea, and the page started growing pretty fast. So that's how it started. And because I've noticed that people really enjoy this type of content, and I saw a great feedback and engagement, I thought like this is something that I should take now maybe more serious and be more consistent. So I started posting more often, and eventually taking it more seriously and becoming like making it my
Business.
business
Yeah.
at some point. But it took maybe 2 years until I made it a business and
Yeah.
not just a hobby.
And so you came in 2018. Things were much better back then. But then moving on after that, when there was the crisis and then the port explosion and then the war and all of that, what made you want to stay, especially since so many people, even Lebanese, were leaving? So what made you want to say, like, no, I want to stay here?
Yeah, I think it's true that I moved in 2019 and everything started, the action started with the Thawra and then lockdown and then explosion. But for some reason, I never actually had in mind that I want to leave, because I had this hope. I think it was maybe two things. It was hope and it was like a denial. Hope in a way that I heard stories that Lebanon was a Switzerland of the Middle East. I heard so many great things of how Lebanon used to boom and so many tourists used to come. So I just had hope that eventually we're gonna see this image again. It's just like in life, not everything is perfect or everything is bad. It's always ups and downs. So I just hope that, okay, now we are seeing something negative, but soon we're gonna see the good things and they will come eventually. So there was hope that this will happen. And a denial, I would say, in a way that you see a very nice country which is so beautiful. You see people who are very intellectual. There is so many people that are so well educated. Lebanese people are very passionate. You can see so many beautiful businesses opening in the country and so much creativity. So you expect that no, this country cannot go through so many bad things forever. Like it's just doesn't make sense why it keeps happening. So this why you also expect no, like the things will happen, like the things will become better soon.
And what would you say that you love most about Lebanese people?
Positivity and this much good energy, and that they are very social and very friendly. I would say, yeah, the main highlight for me in Lebanese people is how friendly and hospitable they are. Because if you travel around the world, it's very rarely nowadays that you see people being so friendly to foreigners and this hospitable, because everyone wants to help, everyone is willing to welcome you. People are very, very kind here. Even though like they go through a lot of hard things, they still don't become angry, they don't become mean. So it's a very beautiful thing to see how kind people are here.
And by the way, what do your friends and family think about you living in Lebanon? Or maybe it changed since you first came here and then
They
maybe
think
now
I'm
recently.
crazy.
That's it.
Yeah. They don't understand really why I live here. And of course, my parents, they understand in a way because they visited Lebanon many times. They see that it's a very beautiful country and that I'm happy here. So they understand. But yeah, maybe some relatives and friends who didn't visit and they mostly hear the news and they hear there is let's say war going on and you are still staying in the country, they really don't understand what is wrong like with you. But they just they accept it. And of course it helps my page that like this is, I think, one of the main motivation why I keep on posting and highlighting the beauty of the country, and also during the hard times and during the wars, that to maybe make Lebanese people also remember why they should not give up on the country, and for me and for my relatives to see that why I'm choosing Lebanon.
Yeah, this is actually one of the things that I wanted to ask. You always say that you want people abroad to see the real image of Lebanon, which is not always captured by the media or the headlines. So what do you think that people still don't know or don't understand about Lebanon? Is it only the controversial thing that you talked about of having places that are maybe more under pressure versus people still going out? Or what is it that is still not fully captured by the media?
I would answer this question from the perspective of, let's say, some friends I meet in Russia that don't know much about Lebanon, they all assume that people don't go out, don't party, people can't wear very open clothes. It's very strict. They don't know much about the culture of Lebanon, that it's very diverse. There are many different religions, and also they maybe don't know how developed it is, even for like to talk about my field in a restaurant business industry, that actually there are so many great restaurants with the highest quality food that they can ship. And that's what's beautiful about Lebanon. You can go anywhere around, like even in the forest village somewhere in Bshare, find a restaurant and the food would still taste very good. So here, I think people don't know how good the Lebanese food is, because they taste it outside. There is a lot of Lebanese restaurants outside, but still in Lebanon, it is the best. Like, it doesn't compare to the outside Lebanese restaurants. By now, also with my page, they also know this, but of course the main highlight of Lebanon is the nature, the beauty of the nature, the beautiful, comfortable weather, that it's not actually very, very hot in summer, it's not too cold in winter, it's just perfectly balanced, so it's very comfortable here.
So going back a bit to Guide.lb, since you started the page, a lot of people follow you, both locals and tourists and visitors to Lebanon. And this creates some sort of a sense of responsibility and a sort of balance between helping businesses but also being true to the audience. So how has this sense of responsibility shaped you more on a personal level?
I think I love this question because till today, after 6 years of doing this blog, I still am trying my best to find balance, because it is really not easy to have this responsibility, because you want to be always honest, because that's how I started, that's how people started following me, that's how they loved my page, because I was always very honest. And I am trying my best to be like this, but I am fighting a lot with the business owners that try to push me to sometimes remove negative comments, and we're still fighting. But I am trying to find the balance, and I think I am still always keeping my reviews objective. I never ever write everything is perfect if it's not. If I don't like the place or something didn't go well, I would never post it. And I also understand that I don't want to damage a business, because if I write something very bad, it will be damageable to business. So I don't do this. So yes, I wouldn't say I found a perfect golden ratio, but I am still trying, and I am trying to balance where I can be true to my audience and be helpful to the businesses. But yeah, it's not an easy thing for sure.
So many places in Lebanon become fully booked once featured on Guide.lb. So when did you realize that what you were doing or your platform was actually having a real economic impact on firms, on businesses, especially smaller ones as well?
Maybe after 2 years of my blog, I was getting a lot of feedback from the businesses, and they would give me crazy numbers. Like, for example, in terms of followers, there were some businesses that would get 6,000 new followers from one post, which was really insane numbers. Or they would be fully booked. If it's guest houses, they would be fully booked for the whole summer season, like would not have a free date at all. And I was appreciating that they would share with me this feedback, because it is important to know if you have results or no. And at that point, I understood how powerful the social media is and how people rely on that, and they rely on you.
I think you set a great example, especially to other digital creators, on the role that they can have in supporting Lebanon's recovery. So based on this, what advice would you give them on creating content that could actually make a difference in society and on the economy?
I think what I can give as advice probably for the content creators is to never get greedy, to never become too high of themselves, to stay down to earth, to think on the longer term and not for one time satisfaction, because I think a lot of people, they start becoming content creators for the wrong reasons. They just want maybe to free stuff, or they want money, and when they focus on that so much, they will not really grow on the long term, because it is a marathon in the end of the day. So you have to think about the long term success, and here you have sometimes to maybe not accept some collaborations, not promote businesses that you don't really like, or you don't feel comfortable with, or you don't personally use, and be honest with yourself, and only work or promote the things that you genuinely believe are nice and you recommend them.
So you founded Guide.lb almost entirely on your own, and that took a lot of courage, especially in a country that isn't your own. However, it did feel like home to you, and it did create this sort of space that allowed you to do that. So what would you tell a woman, Lebanese or not, who wants to start her own business but is scared, partly due to the uncertainty maybe in Lebanon or in their country, and that doesn't even know where to start?
You need to be very tough, and you need to have a lot of patience, because starting business in Lebanon is very not for the weak. Not for the weak, because I actually do have a business in Lebanon. I have an app.
Yeah.
It's called Vibes, and we did launch it during the war, and it's not easy at all, because sometimes you have to be ready to maintain your business by yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes there'll be no help, and you have to be ready for this, because this is a country where a lot of things happen unexpectedly. So you might expect maybe a tourism to flow, because for me, for example, my app is about tourism. It's a tourism app, and then there is a war. So yeah, you just need to be tough, and definitely research the market very well before you start any business, and don't start a business just because something is trending now, because a lot of people, they start businesses depending on the trends, and not because it's something that they are very passionate about or they have expertise in the field. Definitely it should be something that you are very passionate about, that you enjoy doing, and that is valuable or useful for the people.
So after all of these years, what still motivates you to do what you do?
The main impact is seeing that people actually visit Lebanon, and they actually go to the places that I recommend. Like, for example, when I walk on the streets in Beirut, or if I go to some local restaurants, I actually meet foreigners. I actually also met a lot of Russian people who follow me, that you meet them in those places, and they tell you in life that I came to Lebanon, I came to this place because of you. And these words, they really mean so much to me, and they motivate me, and they show me that what I do is something very meaningful and big. So I think this is the main motivation. And my main message to end this interview also is that whoever watches this video, if they still didn't visit Lebanon, or they didn't visit Lebanon in a long time, they should really come visit, and I know that they're gonna fall in love with the country.
Thank you so much, Anastasia, for joining us.
Thank you
We
for
loved
having
having you, and it was a beautiful conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.